Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Knowledge Mondays, your go to weekly series for quick and actionable networking advice. Our theme of the month of December is collaboration, and I'm thrilled to introduce everyone to our special guest, Lou Yang, founder of Charlotte Business Owners. Lou, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Oh, you're welcome. It's a blessing to be here. So hopefully I can add some value to you and your guests.
Absolutely. So, my first question comes from a follower of the Facebook group Resilient Bridge Sourcing. And their question for you, Lou, is how do you figure out who is the right person to collaborate with, especially when you're just starting out?
Well, to me, collaboration or strategic alliances, partnerships, uh, you need to find someone that has the same core values as you do. You don't just want to find someone and then try to, work up some kind of partnership. Because some of the businesses, uh, start out with good intentions, partnerships, and then their visions and their core values just don't line up, and it end up being a huge mess. So make sure those things are lined up first. Really identify your what I call non-negotiable core values, and then seek to go find the people that have those same core values. Now, who would those people be? I always say look from the customer's perspective. So if you already identify who your ideal clients are, then you start from that position and you put yourself in that place and you ask yourself, okay, uh, if I'm that ideal client, who would call on me, or who uh, would I buy from? That could be a product or a service. So once you put yourself in that place and you say, okay, well, this person calls on me, I buy on this person, I normally see this person. For example, okay, well, I own a business. Let's say you're calling is a B2B, so you're calling on a business, and you put yourself in that position, and then you're like, okay, well, you know, I do business with a bookkeeper. I do business with an accountant. I'm working with a AI agency at the moment, right? So you would name all those people, insurance to whatever.
Mm.
And then once you name all those people, then you'll go and find the people that owns those businesses, and then those are the people that you would look to collaborate with. So it could be a referral, or you could work up some kind of like uh, agreement to where you guys have a package where they handle something first and then send them off to you. So, for example, realtor will work with a mortgage specialist, right? So they'll have someone looking for a house. Once they find the house, they say, "Well, I have a loan officer or a bank that I work with, and you need to go and see them." So it could be any kind of collaboration like that. But put yourself in the customer's or your ideal client's shoes first.
I like that. That's really a smart point of view. So, I have a follow-up question based off that. So, let's say you're a real estate agent and you want to have a collaboration with a mortgage broker. Is it best to have a contract involved, or is it just kind of like a handshake deal? What do you think is the best way to go about that collaboration?
I wouldn't necessarily say a contract. I would say just to be on the same page. Ideally, it would be best if it was just a handshake, right? But uh, now in this day and age, you always want to have something written so that you're both on the same page. So it could be a simple email of, hey, like, okay, I'm going to do this, and then Dana, you're going to do this, and my expectation is this, and what is your expectation of me? And it's always best to have that iron out when like we're both happy and we're moving forward in a positive direction. Then when something goes sour and then now is like, well, you said you was gonna do this and you never held your end of the bargain. Well, that's when we're mattery and we want to uh, like not get involved anymore, and then all this nasty stuff's gonna come out. So it's always best to just have some kind of agreement in place, whether it's just email back and forth and then summarizing it. I wouldn't necessarily go into a contract unless
Mm.
it involves something larger than just a referral or a small package.
I like that. I think it's smart to get things in writing. That's so, so important. So, another thing you mentioned is having similar core values with your partners and collaborators. How do you go about that? Do you just kind of ask them what their core values are, or is it kind of, does it come up naturally in conversation?
I think if you meet with enough people and you'll tend to gravitate toward people that have the same core values. I think that would be the first thing would be your intuition, and
Mm.
second, you have to spend time with them first. You wouldn't want to do business with someone that you just met, right? So, for example, if someone came out to my networking event or your networking event and you meet them for the first time, and there's someone that has synergy with you, where both of you guys offer a different product or service, but you are both calling on the same ideal clients, you wouldn't just say, "Oh, let's partner up together," because you don't know the core values. So invest
Mm.
some time outside or after the networking event. Maybe start off with like a Zoom meeting, trying to see what their goals are, kind of see like how they do things, and get a feel of how they are. And then if it leads to it, ask them what their core values are. I mean, it's just part of like hiring people. When I hire someone, I normally ask them like what their goals are and make sure that their goals align with my goals, and make sure that I can add value to help them reach their goals. And then after that, I mean, I'll talk about like what are some non-negotiables, what do they prefer, what they don't prefer, uh, how they like doing things. I mean, I wouldn't like necessarily ask like, hey, what's your core values?
Mm.
And in some cases I do, but I think it should be natural and intuition. You would start with your intuition first. I mean, there's cases where, I mean, not everyone's going to like me, right?
Mhm.
And then I'm not going to like every single person. So there's some people that I talk to, and they automatically I'm like, yeah, I don't think I could work with this person.
I
I
feel the
mean,
same way about some people.
yeah. So I mean, start with that first, and then if you feel like, yeah, I think I like this person, then spend more time with them, get to know them, and make sure that your intuition is correct and it's someone you actually want to do business with, because at the end of the day, you guys are gonna partner up and deal with the same client, and you don't want to go into a relationship with someone that don't have the same core value. For example, if one of your core value is like integrity, and then the other person, all they care about is just making money, and they'll say and do whatever they can to close a deal. I mean, that's
Mm.
going to be a not so good relationship. Um, then now you got to figure out, how do I get out of this relationship? So they always say in business, you hire slow and then you fire fast, right?
I've
So
heard
hire
that.
slow, fire fast. And it's the same thing with partnership. Same thing.
I think that's great, and also just to reiterate what you said about the goals, that's so important to discuss their goals, and also, like you mentioned, your non-negotiables, and just telling them, what your expectations are for the partnership, and also asking what theirs are. I think that's a great way to ensure it could be, you know, beneficial to both people. So, another question I have that kind of is similar to this conversation is, how do you ensure that collaboration is truly win-win versus just one-sided?
Well, it goes back to knowing what their goals are.
Mhm.
Right? You have to know what their goals are. If their goal is to find someone to collaborate with and make 5 million in 2026, I mean, you obviously was like, well, I don't think with my network and my business that I can help you do that, right? So then you got to have a good conversation with them and see if uh, is their expectation a little bit too high
Mm.
or not, right? And you want to make sure that you're able to add value to them, because if you don't, and you go in and they're expecting you to help them get to that level, well, if you're not helping them get to that level, I mean, there's going to be some issues moving forward, right? So
Hmm.
you want to make sure it's a win-win, and goes back to what we talked about is making sure that your core values and your goals are line up, and you guys both can mutually help each other reach your goals, and that would be part of it.
So another question, and I'm just like making this up on the spot because I know you're just a business, mogul and expert. So let's say you're new, you're starting out, and you really want to collaborate with someone who's a competitor and they have a lot more experience, a larger following, larger audience, and they say no, they don't want to collaborate with you. Do you follow up, or you just try to, maintain that relationship, try again, or just move on?
Well, the word I hear is competitor. I don't ever look at someone as a competitor, right? I look at someone as just doing the same thing I do. And partnership doesn't always necessarily mean that that person is the right person to collaborate or partner with.
Hmm.
And so you can always get value from other people, whether you're just watching from a far distance and learning from them, or you actually have a relationship with them. And so I don't ever look at someone as a competitor. And the timing as well. I mean, if they have a larger follower and group and community, I mean, they may be at a next level where you can't really go in and help them, right? And
Hmm.
so it doesn't mean that they don't want to do business with you, but it just means that they're doing something at a different level than you are, and uh, you shouldn't maybe get offended or take it in a wrong way. You should look at it as, okay, how did he build his to there, and then how do I build mine? So it's always a good uh, you know good way to look at it is not as a competitor, but someone that you could learn from. And like I said, don't take it personally if they say no, because the goals may not align. Like I said, the goals may not align, and they're doing something and they're going this direction, and you see that, well, that's kind of where I want to go, and you may not be able to go in and add value during that time, but you should be focused on building yours up. And then once you get to that level where you can actually uh, help them out, then they may be open to helping you out. So it's just I don't take stuff like that personally. I would look at it, examine, and say, is can I really add value? And then uh, if I can, then okay, um, maybe that person doesn't like collaborating, and if I can't, then how do I do to help the person out and maybe do some collaboration?
That's good. I love that. And yeah, sometimes like if you can't offer value to them, maybe, yeah, it's not their fault if they don't want to collaborate you, because I think it really should be mutually beneficial, like you said. So,
Yeah.
my last question for you, which is kind of relates to what you just said, but I'd like you to expand on it. So, let's say someone is just starting out with their business and another person who just started, they're in the same line of work, their business is growing a lot faster than yours. How what strategies can you use to not let that discourage you, and what can you do to not take it personally and stay focused on your own growth?
Well, again, if we go into the mindset of looking at it as a competitor and they're doing better, then uh, that's going in with the wrong mindset. Because as much as we like to be equal with other people, we're not.
Mhm.
Right? A 22-year-old could make 100 million versus me, a 47-year-old, could be making 1 million, right? Or 100,000 a year only. So we can't compare
Mhm.
because some people they just have that knack, right? Or they may have they have may be really good at something. Maybe they have the connections, their circles, their network, or maybe they have the funds. I mean, we don't know, and so we can't compare ourselves to someone else. I mean, we just have to uh, look at ourselves and see what we need to do to get to where we need to get to. I mean, we have our goals, and then how do we get to the goal? I mean,
Mhm.
how do we improve ourselves, and then how do we improve the people that we bring into our circle to help us get to our goal? And I used to really love playing golf until I got old and I can't really play golf. And one reason why I love playing golf is because when you go out and play golf, uh, you're
Huh.
not actually competing with the people that you're playing with. I mean, I'm not a pro. I'm speaking from a amateur perspective. It's really you against the golf course, right? You against your own score. And so when you go out and play, I mean, it's up to you to hit the ball,
Mhm.
and it's up to you to put, you know, hit the ball the least amount to get into the hole. So if it's a par four, I mean, you will want to shoot for at least like a birdie, which is a three, right? It took you three times to get into the hole, meaning one drive and then off the fairway, one iron into the green, and then one putt, and then you're one under. And so the challenge is really you against you and the golf course. And I believe business is like the same thing. I don't compare myself to others because there will always be someone that's more successful than you,
Mhm.
that's smarter, that's maybe fitter, that has more money, more connection. And if you look at it from that perspective, then you're always losing. But if you look at yourself and you're just like, okay, what do I need to do to reach my goals, right? How do I improve myself? How do I improve my network? And that's all you can focus on. So don't focus on other people and what they accomplish. Focus on your goals and what you need to do to accomplish that.
Thank you, and I agree that was a really great story, especially what you said about the golf. I think that will help a lot of people apply that to their business because comparison is pretty natural, especially for people starting out. So I just want to encourage you guys like focus on yourself and your business and just yeah, focus on your goal. And yeah, like you said, there's always going to be people, better looking, fitter, smarter, but at the end of the day, like, you don't know, like, their mental health, like, are they truly happier? You don't know, like, what their life is like. They could be successful, but maybe they hate their life. So, who's really winning at the end of the day?
Well, I always say everyone defines success differently, right? So their success uh, may not be your success. So how can you fault someone that uh, grew up wanting to be a like a elementary teacher? I
Mhm.
mean, to them that's success, but to someone else it's like, well, that's not successful, right? So how do you define that, right? The only thing you can define is your own success. You set your own goals, and then if you reach it or you get close to it, that will be your success. So uh, you define your own success. Don't go and look at someone else's success and say, well, that's where I need to be, or what, and then look down upon yourself. I mean, you define what you want to do and just focus on that.
I agree. Well, thank you, Lou, so much. I really appreciated your insights. If folks want to learn more about you, where can they find you?
But just go and join the Facebook group, the Charlotte Business Owner Facebook group, and they'll see me in there.
Great. Well, thanks again. And thank you, everyone, for watching and joining this episode of Knowledge Mondays. If you found this helpful, make sure to give us a follow, tag a friend who could benefit from this, and share to your feed as well. Bye, everyone.